What's up?
What's up? Oh, let me. I need to change my microphone because otherwise I get
Okay.
feedback sometimes.
Oh, I just thought of something to talk about. We talk about Bachelorette. If there's any fans that show up, we can ask. If not, moot
Okie
point.
dokie. Alrighty, while we're waiting on folks to join, Kerrie and I having a good old time here. Cooped Up is my website. I don't ever post new content to it, but you can still check it out. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all the social
I
places.
bet you post more new content than I do because I haven't
know.
posted new content since I worked in your
There's
office.
no blogger there. I'm at Food Sparks is Kerrie's if you ever want to follow her, particularly on the Instagrams. And wherever you watch or listen to this, be sure to click on the button to subscribe and get it live. These air live on Facebook, YouTube, and on all major podcasting platforms too.
Streaming platforms. We live forever and ever and ever.
I am multimedia.
I am the multi.
I'm a mogul. This is my Harpo.
And this is your Harpo. That's
Yes.
hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, so how's it going? What's going on? It's been like 4 weeks. How long has it been since you've been on?
Oh my God, a while.
Hey, Mama.
I went on my trip over a month ago, and I don't think I was on. I might have been on just before that, but that was 5 weeks ago.
Oh, so it's been a good.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a good 6-week grading period.
I know. Hey, Mama Cooper.
By the way, did you know that kids these days, they don't, at none of the schools that I know of, kids have a 6-week grading period anymore. Like my kids when you were in school.
What was that?
When I was in school here in Texas, at least when I was growing up, we got report cards. We had 6-week grading periods a year. We had six 6-week periods.
Right.
And I don't know how it was where you were, but now everything is quarterly. Our kids get 4 credit cards, get 4 report cards a year. And you know what? I got the new operating system, and now I can't figure out how to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, it's already on? I haven't downloaded mine yet.
But now I can't figure out how to get it. Oh, there we go. Because I just got a text, and I didn't know. Steve Noviello just texted me, "I'm sorry for your loss."
Is he talking about the Queen?
Oh, $2 Chuck wine creator Fred Franzia dead at 79. He says, "I'm sorry for your loss."
Sorry for your loss. Well, the $2 Chuck wine lives on, and you never bought that wine anyway.
No, Franzia. Fred Franzia.
Is that actually Fred? Is he the one that created Franzia wine?
Yes, I'm sure it's the same.
But he created the Trader Joe's $2 Chuck.
Maybe the Charles Shaw, the $2 Chuck.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking at the New York Post story right now. It says wine legend Fred Franzia, creator of the iconic $2 Chuck blend, has died. He was 79. Franzia was a founding partner.
Did he create Franzia wine?
CEO of Bronco Wine Company. Passed away this morning early at his Delnare home with his family by his side.
Outspoken opinions on the wine industry. He looks like he might have a few.
An opinion or two on something.
He looks like a guy that like a cigar in Miami.
By the way, I was on a Zoom call earlier this week, and there was a guy sitting there and just doing this the whole time.
Oh God, no!
Not realizing that he was like picking his and like literally going in and just doing this on the call. I was like, "Come on!" And it was the person leading the call. I'm like, "Come on!"
Oh my God!
We were texting on the back end, like, "Oh my God, is he gonna pull out a bug? Is he gonna go a full knuckle in next? Like, what's gonna happen?"
Hey, Franzia is the nephew-in-law of Ernest Gallo. Gallo Wines.
They're all related. It is all. And Gallo
makes say anywhere he's part of Franzia. I thought for sure he was Franzia wine.
There's no way that there is not. There's no way that the inventor of the cheap wine has the same last name as the cheap wine. That is an impossible.
But you know what I'm thinking? Like he might just created the Charles Shaw brand under the Franzia brand as a,
No, my guess is that it is all of these. So I'm on the board of a winery here in Texas. And I know that to be called a Texas wine, all you have to do is have 51% of your grapes grown in Texas, and everything else you can buy as bulk wine from other places. The place where I'm on the board of does not do that very much, but most of the other ones do. And they buy like bulk wine from California or other places. And bulk wine is just where they make too much wine and they sell it for cheap. Yeah. Gallo is one of the biggest that does it. And what's one of the other ones? Gallo and Mondavi are like the two biggest ones that do it. And so half the time when you're drinking wine, it's one of their grapes anyway. Like it's one of their products. It's just in a different package.
Yeah, unless you're at a boutique winery where they are literally doing their own thing, then
No, I'm talking about if you buy like a label at
grocery store
H-E-B
brands
or Walmart or anything. Not even their store brands, like the Martha Stewart wines is very likely bulk wine.
Yeah, I mean the ones you can get at the grocery store.
Yeah.
The grocery store wine. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So
some of us don't drink grocery store wine.
I tried the I drink a lot. That's what I drink. I actually do drink the cheap grocery store wine. I don't go down.
3 Wishes, isn't it 3 Wishes?
I don't drink that anymore. that is the $2 chuck of Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, yeah.
It's $3 though. But I don't know. I've had my level has gone up largely not because my taste has gotten more sophisticated. It is my tolerance for headaches has gotten less, or it's gotten more sensitive.
Yeah.
So like I'm up to like Black Box and all of that now, which is good wine. But I tried the other day. I tried the one that's the crimes. It's like 13 crimes.
Yeah, 19 crimes.
19 crimes. Martha Stewart has a version of it.
Yeah.
It's got
her face. That?
Yes, and I got it at the 7-Eleven. I mean the Tom Thumb right by your house. Yeah. It is really good.
Oh, were you over here? You should have told me I have your little Lazy Susan. I got the estate sale.
Well, this was a long time ago.
Okay.
This was
next time you're over this way, tell me.
Yes, I want to go to an estate sale with you because they sound fun, and I don't know. I just like
I love looking through people's shit.
Me too. I want to do it. And now that I can abandon the kids with Todd or whatever, like I say, let's go.
Let's do it.
So the Queen died. That's the big news of the week. I know you and I were texting a lot about that. What was that? When did that happen? Like Thursday?
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah. And so that brought up a lot of emotions in you because of your mother being British and you being all of the major moments you watched. This is the first of the major royal moments that you weren't with her, right? Other than like Harry's wedding.
Kate and Will's wedding. No, that, or
like Di's wedding and all of that.
But yeah, she woke me up as a kid in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. to watch Lady and Di, Fergie, and then when I was at home from college, I happened to be there that weekend when Lady Diana had her car accident and died. I actually came in from a midnight movie. It was, we go to a midnight movie and you get home at like 2:30
That was Labor Day weekend. That was kind of Labor Day.
I drive around the corner. My friend was with me from college. I go, why are all the lights on in the house? And my mom had gone to bed. And they didn't really break into news back then, remember? Mm-hmm. So that was like the first major event they really broke into news and gave you play-by-play outside of the little girl that fell in the well, baby Jessica. Up until that point, we'd only had baby Jessica.
Right in Midland, yeah.
And my dad had woken my mom up and said she'd been in a car accident. So I walk in the house, and mom's sitting on the couch and my dad's sitting in his chair and they're just looking at the TV. And I literally walk in and I go, who died? And the guy came on TV and just announced she had died. My mom was boo-hooing.
I bet.
Beside herself. So yeah, that was, and then she happened to be with me. I lived in Albuquerque after college for almost 2 years, about a year and a half. And my parents happened to come visit me when the Queen Mum died. So we sat there all afternoon and watched that.
Yeah. By the way, do you know who is, so there's a couple of things I wanted to, and I don't have these written down, so I need your help remembering them. So Andrew and Fergie, what a shit show that is.
Yeah, that's a shit show.
Like, they have lived together all this time. Did you know that?
No.
They lived together, and they have lived together for most of their adult lives.
Really?
Even though they're divorced.
I thought she totally got away and moved away.
No, she went to the U.S. for a while, and then she moved back. She moved to the U.S. and did like the Weight Watchers campaign and all that kind of stuff. She's now cuckoo pants, supposedly, and has had bad plastic surgery, and they're living together. Well, they're inheriting the corgis together.
Really?
Yes, the corgis. And the dorgies. Is that corgis and dorgies? Was that what the other ones are? They're dachshund corgi mixes. But yes. So, yeah. Common law. That's some Sequoia County shit. Common law.
Yes, Angela. Oh, when I plug in where does she live, it pulls up all her estates. So,
but they live together. They live together. They're just not married. So I'm like, shit show. Did you see though that in the procession, someone screamed from the audience, "Andrew is a dirty old man."
Yeah.
Or something like that. and everyone started singing "God Save the King" to like drown him out.
Yeah, the separated couple live in the home next to Windsor Castle, sometimes with their daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, and their families. That's bizarre.
That is the weirdest thing to me, how they all live so close together.
And why would you want to live with him after all the stuff came out and his whole thing with Epstein and all that?
I know. So that's one of the things I'm like.
I mean, isn't that why they divorced in the first place? Didn't he ran out on her and cheated on her?
I don't know why they divorced, but
I think so.
I think that both of those boys, Charles and Andrew, married women that were too wild for them. Like, I think that they probably they married the opposite of their mothers, right? So they both married kind of zany women, Diana and Sarah Ferguson.
Well, Diana's was a business arrangement, so.
Yes, exactly. Well, who's to say Fergie wasn't either, you know? I mean,
right.
But yeah, those didn't work out. The other thing I wanted to mention is it is shocking to me when you go from old pictures to new how fucking hot all of them were.
Yeah.
And now and it's only like 20 years later. And I'm like, they all are looking like, as I said the other day, everyone looks like they have a vitamin D deficiency. They're all.
Well, that's British.
I know, but they're just none of them have a stitch of hair on their head, and they're 55 years old. I don't know how old.
I know when you're that rich and you're a royal, why wouldn't you just want to get the hair transplant or whatever?
I don't know, but Angela's saying white people don't age well, man. I'm saying those translucently white people do not.
Yeah, especially not the British.
We do. We Americans do.
When Wills was younger, when he had his mother's feathered hair, my God, he was hot.
And remember, everyone thought he was the hot one,
yes,
and Harry was the less attractive one.
And my mother always said, "You wait, and Harry's going to be cuter than Wills." And I was like, "No, there's no way. Will is so hot."
Yes.
Sure shit. And even Harry's a little balding now in the back. I'm like,
I know, but
I think transplant.
I think he also has. I think there's a little swagger to him that makes him hot too.
Yes.
And I think that's why the other ones were hot because there's nothing hotter to me. And this speaks volumes about me. There's nothing hotter to me than an entitled rich man.
And a cute husky ginger at that.
Yes, I'm like
have you seen the video where he's being interviewed back when he was still in the military and his battalion started to rally to go to the helicopter and he just threw the mic off and ran away? I was like, God, that's
now,
hot.
like just
so hot.
So
hot to me.
But I just like guys who are kind of like you can't cross into dick territory, but I want you to get close to it, like a little dickish.
Yeah.
And entitled and good hair, good teeth, all of that, which somehow some of them had good teeth and they don't anymore. That's the other thing I don't get.
Yeah.
And if you have that much, so I guess here's the thing. If you have that much money, do you have so much money that you just don't care about those things anymore?
No, that's not what they're born with over there. It's not bred into them like it is here. Like the whole American image of good teeth, good feet, like that whole thing. It's just not a thing over there. But I guarantee you, watch Harry.
We've exported every other fucking thing. We need to export that in bulk.
Yeah, Harry will age more gracefully because he's married to Meghan,
and
because you can guarantee she's got a moisturizing regime set up for him, and he's going to look good longer than Wills is.
And he's aged so much. And then Charles. So I liked his speech. I thought his speech was very nice. I thought his speech was uncharacteristically emotional, you know?
Yeah.
Although I do think he's the more emotional one based on what's shown in The Crown. We went back and finished The Crown.
Oh, you did? I haven't yet.
Yeah. And it's good. I love it. But have you seen some of the stuff coming out about when he has things on his desk he didn't want there? And he was like,
I've seen the pens where he pushed the pens off.
Yes, and then he's kind of like that, and then they get him off. Have you seen the things about his hands? How his hands actually, his fingers are all bright pink. They're stubby, and they are so plump that they have almost no wrinkles, and they're shiny. Like it's so weird. Okay, but it's exactly, Casey, you're saying the hands. And then he's got rings on so many of his fingers, and the rings look like they're cutting off circulation. Like it is like Google.
I'm gonna Google his hands. Alleged sausage fingers.
Yes.
Roasted mercilessly online. New York Post, leave it to them.
You know, and I normally don't like them.
Oh my God, this is so weird.
I know. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So for those of you who
he must have a condition that causes his hands to swell like that.
I know, and we're making fun of him as I have my crooked ass fingers and shit here. So
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
We're just showing you.
I mean, from the inside, his hand looks fine, but yeah, he has a really. Yeah, do you have the New York Post article? Yeah, he really does have some stubby little ballooned up hands.
Yes, they're so creepy. Anyway, I think that.
Yeah, keep going. There's one where they have him turn the other way, and you can see how. Go to the second photo after that. The one in his gray suit.
Get out of this. Fucking technology. I zoomed in and now I don't know how to zoom out.
Escape. Hit the escape button.
No, did not work. Do you see I've got like the little. What the fuck did I do? I can't get off of that image. Well, okay.
Are you on a website? There you go.
I was on the New York Post website. It's alright. But and then one of his pinky is like broken or something too. Like it is.
Yeah, it's like all turned sideways, and that's the one with the pinky ring on it. And I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah, why would you like accentuate that? There we go.
Monica's like, ah.
Look at that. Do you see his fingers? You see it? Oh my God.
They really are like little sausages.
They're just like Cooper plus technology. Here's the funny thing is I'm actually very good at technology. For some reason, I just cannot do it when it's on demand. Not as creepy as Andrew's hands. Oh my God, does he have even creepier
now
hands?
I gotta Google those.
I know. Angela,
what's his title?
Fault.
What's Andrew's title? He's been stripped, but what was it? What does he go by now?
I don't know. Mom, my mother, this is my mother saying this. There's a meme showing his hands and it mentions fingering, if you know what I mean. Sorry, kids.
Right? There's a meme. Ew. What's his name? How do I look him up? He's Andrew.
Isn't that crazy? I just Prince Andrew fingers.
Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew fingers.
Hands. What's wrong with his hands?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
I see his wandering hands, like all the things, like all the women he touches and such, but I don't
see old articles. Prince Andrew.
Oh no! It's just because he's a creepy perv. That's what Pam is saying. He's handsy, not as creepy as Andrew's hands. Yes, I know.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, I get the joke now. Sorry, we were slow on the uptake, but anyway. So
we were concentrated on sausage fingers. We thought something was done.
So I have been, and I know you've been eating this up more than I have because you had the TV going a lot more than I do. Some people are complaining. They're like, "Why all the coverage? Why all the coverage?" I'm like, "Because it's delicious."
Yeah, I mean,
I love the pomp and the majesty and the pageantry to it.
Yeah, you're a true Anglophile. You like to follow it.
I like all of the. I like the fact that they're like currently in London taking down all of the stoplights along the route so that it is unmarred by modern.
Interesting.
Like all of the stoplights along the procession for her funeral are being taken down so that the stoplights are not in the photos and in the video and aren't marring the thing. It's also probably so people don't climb on them, but that's a whole other thing. But
it's because it's shit we wouldn't do here in America, and it's just cool. I mean, it's just the pomp and the circumstance and the hullabaloo and the, all the stuff that goes on. But it's like they've done that for years, and it's just what you do.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why we love them, and there's some escapism to it. I think also that in this world that we live in, it is kind of nice to see. It's the same reason we like watching Downton Abbey because it's like ridiculous.
It's different.
So, but yeah. Casey's asking, confirm this for me as a PR person. We're both PR people here, so good. These news stations have been ready for this for years, right? They're just dropping in more recent B-roll footage. Yes. So there are actually entire conferences and newspapers, everyone. Most every famous person in existence has an obituary that is already written, for example. Like every major politician. They've already written the obituary, and they just revisit them and keep them up to date. They obviously revisit the older ones more often. So Queen Elizabeth was probably being revisited every time something big happened. But yeah, so they've been ready for it. But that no one knew that the old girl was going to kick it at 97 because her mom lived to like 100 and something, right?
Yeah.
So, and she didn't seem to be having that much of trouble. But anyway, and then also here's the other thing about TV and such. TV was barely invented the last time the monarch changed.
True. Yeah, like it was in black and white, right?
This is literally the first time that mainstream media TV coverage has even existed. And I saw Prince Charles is allowing cameras into his coronation, which I believe is that when does that happen? I don't remember when the coronation.
They said on the news today that it depends. Like Queen Elizabeth's was like a year after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he's already decided that TV cameras, they will air it live, and that's never been
doing it pretty soon. Then, yeah,
it's never been done before either. So, anyway, you
know what's weird? Really quickly, I have the live video up on my browser. I don't see all the comments, and I've just realized it's only putting people that I'm friends with comments in the feed, but I can see them all in your window.
That's weird.
That's never done that before.
Well, check if you're looking at relevant ones versus all comments.
I just have it as live chat, all comments.
My mom is saying, I love that the hearse is a Jaguar, and she designed it. I know. I mean, that's the other thing. When you're that old, she already had planned most of this herself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when you know that you're going, yes. So, I think Angela's having the same issue. She's only able to see.
Yeah, it's weird, Angela, right? Like, I can see, and it tells me. So now it's telling me 21 comments. But when I hover over it, it tells me who the commenters are. And like, I can see Monica in there and Casey and Suzanne and Cheryl, but they are not only the people I'm friends with are showing up in my.
Oh, that's weird. That's probably a new thing where they're trying to make sure that you're only interacting with your friends. Everyone watches their phone, not what's really going on in real life. Pam was saying, that is one of my pet peeves in life.
At concerts too.
Concerts. Children's events, parades, just general shenanigans happening in society. Everyone is watching it through their phone.
Yeah.
Like they're not even looking at it. Like at least look at it, like have your phone like this and look at it. But everyone is looking at their phone. It drives me.
Like I'll shoot a video or take a picture and then I'll put it in my pocket and enjoy the,
Yeah.
The performance. But geez, some people are doing it the whole time. I'm like, you gonna go back later and watch this? No.
Yes, I know. Who watches them anyway? Yes. The only reason to take a video like that is if something bad is about to happen, you may have $10,000 on your hands with video.
Yeah, exactly.
So my mom is also saying she only sees my sisters and hers.
That must be a Facebook change. That's so annoying.
It is.
Why would he do that? You can't interact with everyone's comments.
I will call up Mark and see what he has to say.
Just call him up.
Yes.
It's been a while since you chatted with him. I'm sure he'll get right on that call.
On Mark. And Karen can see that Darren is watching. Hey, Darren. But she can't see any comments. That's weird. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was The Little Mermaid. So the trailer for The Little Mermaid came out. If you haven't seen it, it is beautiful. And I love that movie. I actually probably could recite the animated one word for word still. I've seen it so many times, which is so funny. I made the kids watch it at one point, and they're like, why is this so old-timey looking? Because it's the old style of cartoons where it was still very painted. It wasn't computer generated. It was still drawn. So everything was flat, kind of two-dimensional, whereas everything now is kind of rounded and such. But the Little Mermaid is coming out, and when is it releasing? I think Thanksgiving, something like
probably
that.
I think.
And it's basically just her, and you don't see her till the very end. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. I know, sorry, y'all. I know I subject y'all to my singing every single time, and it's terrible, but I'm committed to it. But so she's singing that song. And they reveal that she is played by a Black actress, right? And there are two schools of, well, actually, I think there's three schools of thought. Schools, get it, fish. Oh, I have a terrible dad joke for you real quick. What do you call a hen that counts her own eggs?
Henny Penny?
A mathema chicken.
Oh, this is the one you sent me the other day. Pam, please put that guy off TikTok in the comment. Cooper would love him. This guy tells the silliest jokes and he giggles to himself and he can't get, he's like, before he tells the punchline, he's like, Put him in the chat, Pam. Put him in the chat. Find a TikTok and put it in there.
So I love stupid jokes. Mathema chicken. See how red I got?
Love this guy's TikTok account.
But anyway, back to the Little Mermaid. Welcome to my ADHD mind today.
You said schools of thought.
Schools of thought. Yes, that's what triggered it. So one of them has been. I'm not gonna do them in any particular order because I want to talk about one of them more than the rest. So I'm gonna do it last. One of them is people who are like representation. Oh my God, I love all the little black girls who are or either girls of color in general. Like oh my God, she's so beautiful, a black princess, right? And the only other one has been like Tatiana, right? I think
so. Yeah, one
Disney princesses, yes. And then we've had Mulan also, but for the most part, no. And then there's people like me who are like, I'm going to merge the last two. So there's it's so beautiful, love it, all that stuff. And then you got the fucking racists who are coming out and saying, why has everything got to be so woke? Which I love that they throw that around as an insult. I proudly wear the woke title. It means that I have awoken to seeing that other people have a different life experience than I do, and I'm going to do whatever I can.
And you don't live in a can.
Yes, that I'm going to do whatever I can to be sensitive and aware and respectful of those other people's different life expectancies, right? But so they're like, it's racist, and Little Mermaid's white. And I'm like, first of all, moron. Little Mermaid is fictional.
Yeah, she can be whatever we want.
Fictional.
She can be purple.
Yes,
if we want.
Secondly, Little fucking Mermaid lives in the water. She's probably green and slimy, like for real. Like,
have you seen the idiot's comment saying there's no way she could be black because deep in the ocean sunlight doesn't reach? And I'm like,
that's not how it works. Someone can be born in a dark room and never see the light of day and still be black, right?
Yeah.
Like, I assume I'm no biologist, but yes, I've seen that, and so I'm like, and if that were the case, what color would all the fish be at the bottom of the sea, right?
Yeah.
Or even just in the sea, not even the bottom of the sea, but
under the sea.
And obviously, she doesn't only live under the water because she comes to the surface and falls in love with a human being.
Yeah.
Not just up there. I mean, she goes up there, and other mermaids do too. So
hello, Splash.
Who's her dad though? Is it Idris Elba? Please be Idris Elba. Oh my God! Please.
I don't think that they announced it yet. Let me see.
No, all we know that Melissa McCarthy is Ursula.
Oh, really?
Yes, I believe that's the case. I think she is.
It's Little Mermaid live, right? Live action.
Live action Little Mermaid, yes.
Okay.
But so the girl's name it's like Haley Bailey or Halle Bailey, something like that.
Yeah.
It looks like Halle Berry, but it's not. It's
Halle, yeah.
Halle Bailey, I think. Anyway,
I'll put a thing in the chat about
so there's that. And then also I'm like, furthermore, yes, so she's fictional and she would probably be green with gills and all kinds of stuff. We don't really know what a Little Mermaid looks like. But then furthermore, if you know anything about the Hans Christian Andersen book, I think it's a poem, but whatever the Little Mermaid is from Hans, I've seen the statue. I've been to Copenhagen, Denmark, and seen it. But it is a tragic story. First of all, she dies at the end of it. So she goes out into the water in the real version. First of all, it is a gay love story. It is about unrequited love. Hans Christian Andersen was a homosexual, or they're saying he was asexual and he was like biromantic, so he liked both, but he just wasn't sexual. But he fell in love with his friend, and it was unrequited. The friend was also kind of in love with him, but ended up going straight. And it was all about like not fitting in and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, it's a homosexual love story. Let's start with that. Secondly, in the story, when she gets out of the water, every footstep it's painful. Every footstep is like she's having blades shoved into her feet, and they are bleeding. And if she doesn't do something, she turns like into sea foam or something like that. And at one point, there's no witch. It's her grandmother, I think, or something, who is telling her that the only way she can like survive or whatever is she actually has to kill him and his wife, because he gets married, her love, Eric, in the I don't know what his name is in the real one, but or in the movie, but in the movie it's Eric. He actually ends up marrying another woman, and thinks of the Little Mermaid kind of as a pet more than a lover. You know, she can't talk. That's always bugged the shit out of me about the Disney version anyway, about how it's such a terrible story of falling in love with a woman who has no voice at all. Like, you have no idea if she has a brain. You know what I'm talking about? Like, Eric falls in love with Ariel solely on her appearance and her obedience. He's never talked to her. He doesn't know what she's thinking. She's shared no thoughts whatsoever, and they fall in love. Like, that's just so wrong to me. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Why is Bentley saying my name with exclamation? Oh, just because I'm here. Hi, Bentley.
Yes, yeah. Angela,
I thought it was something I said.
I am woke, and I've also been dubbed the gayest straight person in Sequoia County, and I'm good with that. Yes. Is Sequoia County where Salisaw is?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where the Sequoia founded the alphabet for the Cherokees.
Yes. It's also a story promoting a woman giving up a huge part of herself to be with a man. Not awesome. Like, one of the most beautiful parts of herself, right? Most remarkable parts of her. She is giving up the thing that she's like supposed to be center stage, and she gives that up. Yes, exactly.
So
what about women supporting women also? The witch is like literally stealing from her. Like, yes.
So it's May 26th, by the way. It's summer. It's the summer.
Oh, so it's next. So we're a year out, or
yeah. So guess, May 26th, 2020. Guess who's directing it?
Who?
Rob Marshall.
Really? So
Melissa McCarthy is portraying Ursula. Guess who's playing Scuttle the seagull?
Who?
Somebody really quirky and funny.
Is it?
And she was in. Well, if I tell you this, it'll give away the Rich Asians movie.
Oh, Awkwafina? Yes. Mason loves her. Mason every time we're on a plane, Mason watches Crazy Rich Asians just to see Awkwafina on it. And then he watched that new movie that's out called like All the Things Always Ever Right Now, whatever it's called.
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard about it.
She's in it, movie I'm talking about? And afterwards, he basically said in his own way, he was like, well, that was a fucked up movie. He didn't say that exactly like that, but supposedly it is. But he loves Awkwafina. He watched it just for that. So
yeah, I heard it was weird.
Yeah, but it's got all the actors. It's like the same cast because it's the only Asian actors that are available for movies. So
Always Be My Maybe. That's a good one too. She was in that, right?
I don't know that movie, but yeah.
It came out at Christmas last year. It was really cute. I told you to watch it. It was super cute.
I know.
I thought you watched it. Pam watched it.
Yeah. What else? But anyway, so who does it say who King Triton is? Please.
No, that was it. That was all it gave. Yeah, I know. Who's it going to be? You know, it's going to be
Melissa McCarthy as Ursula is genius casting.
Genius. Let's see. What's a big ripped? What did they call it? The brothers that play all the roles.
Wayans?
One was married to Miley Cyrus, and those actors, those brothers that are actors everybody loves. Someone help me out here.
The Wayans brothers?
No.
Oh, you know who would also be good? Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
I'd be moist for Michael B.
I don't
Jordan.
mind looking at it. My basement flooding. The Hemsworths, yes. Hemsworth, whatever dudes.
Do you think they'll do cross-racial casting then? Her dad is white and she's black?
Well, maybe because she does look mixed in the live action.
Yeah.
In the still.
Melissa McCarthy was interviewed on something, and she was like, we literally cried when we heard her sing the first time because somehow her voice is very grounded and very like not up here.
So go back to the first part. So you were talking about how there's it's all over my TikToks, and like New York Times just posted, but there's all these little videos coming out of moms recording their daughters watching the trailer, and they've got their camera fixed on them. And when the girls see her come on screen, they just light up. And then they're like, Mom, she's black. You know, like they're freaking out.
She looks like me. She looks like me.
And then there's the little white girl. There's a video I sent you. A little white girl. She's like looking at her mom.
I thought she was going to be British. Honestly, I thought she was British when you first sent it to me.
I know. And she looks back, and then it's over, and she looks at her mom, and she goes, "What did she say?" She goes,
"Yes, was that done there? Was that done there, Whitney Houston?"
On the screen, she's real country, like she's from Kentucky. Was that there, Whitney Houston, Mom? So cute. I loved all the comments, like, "Who's gonna tell her Whitney's dead?"
Was that done there, Whitney Houston? It was. Yeah.
She kept looking at her mom.
Reminds me of. When Monica and I were at Disney in January, a woman with there was this super country, like rich country though. You could tell like he was like the leading general contractor in Jackson, Mississippi or something, and his family was there. And they were eating, and the one girl was like, "That bird done did hit me on the head." The herd. That bird done did hit me on the head. That bird done did hit me on the head. In the hair. It was something like that. Monica and I, we were at the boardwalk, and we heard them talking, and she said they were like, and then the other was like, "Is that a cannoli? Do you got them one?" I can't get my country on now. You got one of them there cannolis? Them there cannolis. So they were sophisticated enough to know what a cannoli is, right? So that they were rich country people,
but they're just putting it in their language. Yeah,
he done hit me. That bird done did hit me on the head. It was so funny.
Fell out laughing.
We did. Like we had to pretend we were laughing about something else because it was so obvious that we were laughing at that. Like it was the only thing that would make it more obvious if we would have repeated it and pointed. Like yes, it was so funny. I had the weirdest thing totally different topic. I had the weirdest thing happen yesterday. That's what it was, Monica. I got to go get me one of them there cannolis. Yes, that's what.
I got to go get me one of them dull whips, pineapple whips.
But he said them there cannolis. Everything was like it was.
Them there's the country way of saying those.
Those, exactly.
Them there, some of these. Yeah, them there.
Yes. So
these are those.
So I had a coach bag, a new coach bag that was supposed to be delivered yesterday.
You ordered a new one? You didn't even send me a picture.
Well, I do it too much. And you know what? I thought that now that I'm not drinking, that my online impulse shopping was going to go away. Nope, no. Did not. No,
it's an addiction of its own.
Yes, yeah. Just swap something out. Just like plug and play addictions at this point. But
that is the addictive, impulsive, behavior. It's like
so I got a notification that the UPS package had arrived. I went to the front porch. There was a big ass box on the front porch from Cole Haan. And I'm like, well, what's this? And so I bring it in, and I thought maybe Todd, because Todd logs in all my accounts to order stuff because I already have all the credit card information and we get points on different. So he had like a Banana Republic thing I knew. So I opened the box, and there's like 5 pairs of shoes in this box. It's a big box. And I thought, oh, Todd must order shoes. So I closed it up. And so Todd got home last night. And and in the meantime, I'm messaging Coach, and I'm like, I didn't get my package. It says I got my package. I didn't get my package. And you can text them now for customer service. And they're like, well, we're showing it was delivered. It's the best, texting for customer service. But we're showing it was delivered. So we can't replace it, but we can give you a merchandise credit. That's what they were telling me. I was like, I didn't get what I wanted. I want what I want. Yeah. So then I get home. So then I'm like, fucking A. So get home. Todd gets home we were at dinner. Todd gets home from a work event. And he's like, what's this box of shoes? I was like, those are your shoes. He opens it, and he's like, Cooper, these are like 5 different sizes. There's like a pair of like 8s. There's a really cute pair of 10.5s, which is what I wear. There was a size 14 penny loafer in it. Like the biggest shoe I've ever fucking seen in my hands in my life. It was like Shaquille O'Neal. And then some other shoes. And he's like, what the hell is this? And we look at the box. It's not even addressed to me.
Yeah.
Addressed to an Amazon fulfillment center.
Are you
on
serious?
Owings Freeway. And we're like, how did it get here? How is it at our house? Like, and I looked, one of those tiny little labels, the little, like the supplemental labels, like they put on, they'll put the main one on and then they'll put a couple more on it one of those tiny little ones was on the bottom of the box. And it was the same code, the UPS tracking code as my Coach bag.
Oh, it came off of your
I guess
box.
it came off of that box and it just, and so I'm like, well, fucking A, what do I do? Because there's no way I can't return a shoe I didn't buy. And I can't call UPS. I mean, what's UPS going to do? Every time you try to call UPS, they're like, well, talk to the shipper. We can't do anything if you're the recipient. We can only do it if you're the shipper. Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck? And so
you're like, what am I going to do with all these shoes?
So I was like, so what's the ethical thing to do in this situation? Because Coach is like, and I can't explain over text what happened. I mean, I can't be like, yeah, we got a box that had the label on it, but it was from Cole Haan, but it said it was from you and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, what do I do? So, of course, I was like, okay, I'll take the merchandise credit.
Did you reorder it?
No, not yet. And then as for the shoes, I'm like, Monica's saying I should sell the shoes. I'm like, I was thinking about just donating all but the 10.5s. I like those. But all the other ones, I was thinking about donating. That
sounds like a family and a mom ordering shoes for the father and the kids.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe drop ships it was going to an Amazon fulfillment center from Cole Haan. So maybe Cole Haan sends them to them and then but it was such a random, the shoes were so weird. It was like they were all men's shoes, first of all. And then one of them was like some mall walker shoes. It was a cute little black pair of high tops though. And that's the ones I liked. So anyway, so I was like, to get rid of my guilt, I was thinking about donating the other 4. I'll keep the one for my troubles. But anyway,
that's funny.
It's just so weird when stuff like it also shows you how much the markup is on merchandise. If they can just be like, someone paid. They're not losing money. They're just not getting more money. Monica's saying a poor family in Dallas is going to be without shoes. You should feel guilty. Yeah. I'm guessing it's not a family in Dallas. I'm guessing it's just going to the distribution center and it's probably going out somewhere else. But yes. Yeah. And if you're a man with a size 13 shoe, you don't have that many problems. Like, it was a 14 actually. Like, you're probably doing pretty well in other departments in life. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, got a 14 shoe. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, hey girl, hey.
I know somebody with a 14 shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I know them biblically. Wink, wink.
The other and then I tried something new today. Amazon has a thing called Prime Before You Buy, and this is kind of related.
Tell me about this because I don't know what this is.
So the other day I was talking about how I order just a bunch of stuff and then I return the stuff I don't want, or the sizes I'll order multiple sizes. Well, Prime Before You Buy is this thing where you can put in like up to 5 things or 7 things in it's in a box. They call it your box. And then they ship it to you, and then you just tell it which things you want to keep, and they charge you only for those. And you have 7 days to confirm, and then you ship it back. And it comes with a label and all that stuff. And basically, it's so that if you're doing what I'm doing, where if you want to order like 3 different sizes of the same thing or colors or whatever, you can get them all and not have to foot the $300 bill. You just only pay for the one that you want. So I've tried it for the first time. It takes a little bit longer to ship. Like, it says it'll be here between the 15th and the 19th. So instead of, tomorrow's the 15th. Well, who knows when it'll be here. It usually gets here faster because we have so many distribution centers here in the area. But it does not guarantee like overnight or whatever. But I am so I will be interested to see how that works. I'm thinking it's kind of like Trunk Club or something. I bet it's their, I don't know how Rent the Runway and stuff like that work, but like I was a member of Trunk Club for a while, and that's the one where they send you a bunch of stuff each month.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get. They know your sizes and your general style. And you get that, and then whatever you decide to keep, you keep, and they charge you for, and whatever you don't, you just send back to them, right? I'm thinking it's kind of the competitor to that, but you actually get to pick the stuff. Prime Before You Buy. Has anyone tried that?
I have not.
Casey is saying, you're not drinking. Did I miss a memo? Yeah, you did. And is it because of black tie event I'm trying to slim down for? That is part of it. Part of it is that also I've just gotten too fat for my, like, I'm unhealthily large in places. My blood pressure is like out of control at the moment. Like, just like, I'm tired of feeling bad. So I'm only
Just
drinking.
life.
I did drink a glass of wine at dinner last night and then maybe a refill. But I am not drinking at home except for on like Friday nights and Saturday nights because there's no school or work the next day. And maybe a little if there's some left over on Sunday night. There's all kinds of caveats to it. But I am feeling better generally. Angela's 16-year-old wears a 14. Well, if we weren't talking about your 14-year-old or your 16-year-old Angela, we promise.
No, she's saying like that face because I said what I said about.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We weren't talking about him. I promise. We were talking about him.
She's like,
Monica says she knows someone with a size 15.5 shoe. I will tell you, as a large person, not shoe size, I wear a 10.5, but as a very tall person, I can sympathize with people with large feet in the sense that there's never been a better time in the world to have a weird size than now, because you can get it online. When I was a kid growing up, trying to get long ass pants, I wore high waters before they were stylish all the time. Now I do it on purpose, but back then it was so hard because you could only get stuff at the store or mail order, which took 6 to 8 weeks to arrive. Now I just you can order online. I'm guessing with shoes it's the same. If you previously you couldn't pick up a size 14 at the local Dillard's, maybe now you can.
Yeah, it depends. Usually those are the first to go if you're looking for a certain kind of shoe.
Yes, and no one buys them. They're never on sale. You buy them when they're full price.
Yeah.
So here in my neighborhood, changing subjects again. Here in my neighborhood, walking around, the sound of chainsaws buzzing because of the big floods that we had and the trees falling over. There's still just trees laying down all over the neighborhood.
It's crazy. I know. I was driving around the other day and I was like, damn.
They've been cut so that you can still get through roads and stuff, but like they're on the side of the road and all that kind of stuff all over the place. And I was joking with Monica. I was like, it's so weird. I mean, it's like all you hear is chainsaws buzzing everywhere. I can't even hear the police sirens or the gunfire anymore. Like, what happened? Like, yeah, that was a joke. You're supposed to laugh at that.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, you can't hear it over the. Are they cutting trees at night? Because usually it's at night, right?
I know. Oh no, here it's all the time. Monica's been in our pool and we heard gunfire like 2 blocks away.
Oak Cliff, man. I don't know what it is with Oak Cliff. Doesn't matter where you live.
Well, it's not, and it's funny thing, it's not in my neighborhood. It's fine. It's the surrounding parts. Yeah. And the way stuff travels. Anyway. Yeah.
Monica's saying your foot is average, I would say.
Yeah, I would say 10.5, 11. I wear 10.5 or 11 depending on the shoe. I tend personally, and I'm not even addressing what the rest of that means. I am, because I've been told otherwise by many, many, many people.
Oh, Monica, you asked for it. He's bringing out the receipts.
Yes. Well, it's been years since I've been told that, but yes.
Well, it doesn't get smaller, does it?
I don't know. My belly's gotten so big that it looks smaller.
Your belly gets bigger and then you can't see it as well, right?
I can't see my feet as well anymore with my big belly.
I think back to college of like the silly football boys that used to do the helicopter shit and thought it was funny with girls. And I look at them on Facebook now and I'm like, bet that gut. I bet that doesn't look as good as that.
Gross. I was not
impressive as a freshman.
I was not referring to that. Monica says, I know. We're coming for you.
She's like, let me clarify.
What was I saying right before that?
Your shit. What were you saying? You talked about the shoes. You were moving on to a topic, but what did you say?
I don't remember. It'll come back to me in a minute, and then I'll interrupt myself.
Somebody remind us.
Somebody. I got distracted. So Mason accused me earlier today of stealing his Gatorade. I'm like, Mason, I assure you I'm not stealing your Gatorade. No adult drinks Gatorade unless they are terribly hungover. It is not a drink that adults drink. He's like, why? And I'm like, because we just don't. We drink other things, not Gatorade.
Yeah, you're like,
I was talking about
something we crave like when you're in junior high.
Yes. By the way, back on the chainsaw thing, and maybe that's what I was talking about. How do dogs not go hoarse? How do dogs not lose their voice? I have never understood. So the neighbors,
How come they don't?
the neighbors' trees are, and I've only been home half the day today. I came home after lunch. The neighbors' trees are getting trimmed, and the dogs have been downstairs barking non-stop, twice a second, for hours on end. And I'm like, when are y'all going to just die? Like, when are you going to go hoarse? Like, what is going on? Like, why?
It's so important.
When I know what they're barking at, because it's on their side of the house and they can see out the door because it's a glass door by them. But I'm like, oh my God.
Are they quiet when you tell them to be quiet?
For a second.
Little dogs are so yappy like that.
Yeah.
My little Frank, she used to look back at me like, what? I'm doing my job.
I'm protecting you.
And she'd just be like, I'm like, and then I try to like spank her on the butt, tell her to quit, and she'd turn around and take it out on me.
And Monica lives in the country, and their dogs never stop barking. They bark at midnight. Yeah. Fortunately, our room is at the other end of the house, so I couldn't tell you if my dogs barked. I couldn't tell you if my dogs are scared of thunder. I couldn't tell you if my dogs are scared of fireworks.
Oh, you just leave them in there? You never know?
I don't care. I literally don't care.
Y'all, Cooper and I have had a hilarious relationship over our friendship about his relationship with his dogs. He used to have these two little scrappy little old Chihuahuas when I first met him. They were old when I met him, and they didn't die.
Teacup Chihuahuas. They were the size of Franks. Yes.
Yeah, but they're the size of Franks. And he's like, oh, we keep him in the back room. And like, I must have known him for 5-6 years before, like, I even really saw the dog. I had to go in there to look at them. And so I was like, you're going to be real sad one day when those dogs die. He's like, eh. And then sure as shit, was I working for you at the time?
No, I think I just talked. It was when Basha died. I wasn't there when Thor died, but when Basha died, I dropped the kids off at school, and you could tell that so here's the thing: the dogs were like 17 and 15 years old.
Yes, they were so old.
They were both blind, and Thor was also deaf, and they had their eyes were white, like they had the cataracts had taken over their Chihuahua eyes. We would take them to the vet, and we would be like, "Are they in pain?" No, they're not in pain. I'm like, "Fuck! Tell me they're in pain so I can at least put them down." Like, otherwise, it's just dog murder. So I wasn't gonna do it unnecessarily. But like, I'm the only one wishing for my dog to be in so much pain that we would put him down. Yes. I was raised in the country, though. I
was too.
I don't think I ever had a pet die of natural causes ever.
I know it was always hit by something.
It was always hit by something. Or my dad or stepdad would take him behind the barn and shoot him. Like that was the two ways our animals died, right? And
so he texts me that morning. He goes,
and I'm like, I think that Bosch is on her way out.
I think Bosch is dying. He's like, I just dropped the kids off at school, and I don't know whether to go into the office. I don't know. I'm just gonna go in. And I text back, and I was like, why don't you go check on her? Why don't you go? And text back. He's like, fuck, she's in my lap now, and she's dying. I just know it. She's dying.
Yes. And she lasted about 30 more minutes of sitting there. And when her last breath went out, I felt it. And then she went cold instantly. And it was just crazy. And I cried a lot about that. But and we have, and our dogs are, in my defense, the dogs have a very, very nice room that they are in.
Oh, they do. They have a lovely room.
It is a big
It's like they have their own little pen house in his house.
Yeah, they are in a pen. They have raised beds. They have plenty of water and food. It is painted. It has framed black and white portraits of our old dogs in it for them to see.
But when you would go back there, they're a little decrepit. They just be like, "Oh, somebody's coming to say hi."
I know
I'd always go back there and
all their joints had frozen, so they were walking like zombies everywhere. And
and they told me, he goes, "Damn it! Now I'm sitting here crying." He's like, "Now I can't go to the office."
I know. Cooper really does care, not as much as a normal human with the heart, but that's a funny. I care about my animals.
I told you that. I said, when they die, you're going to be sad because they got those dogs together, he and Todd.
Yes.
They got them together.
Yeah. Well, Todd got Thor the week we started dating, actually. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then did Thor die with Todd?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, so Thor ended up dying with Todd.
Yeah, I was out of town or something. I wasn't here, or I think I was asleep, and it was in the middle. Todd went down to check on him, and it happened in the middle of the night or something. So, and
it
then
wasn't long after Basha, right?
No, it was like 4 weeks. It was like almost nothing. We were certain, because Basha was so mean, we were certain that Thor was either going to go quickly because he had lost his best friend, or he was going to be like, thank the Lord that bitch is dead.
And rally.
And rally. But he went. So Thor died. No, she means Todd was with Thor when he died.
Thor died with Todd. Yeah, so Todd's a robot.
Yes, yeah.
We've worked it out.
Weekend at Bernie's. I keep him alive for the inheritance. I gotta lock that down. But and then our current dogs, we let them out a lot in the house.
You do, yeah.
However, we have to be so careful about the rooms that they are in, and constantly knowing that they're in the room with us, because Benny lifts his leg on every fucking thing in our house. He doesn't do it in the main kitchen area, but if we have the gym door open, he will sneak in, or the laundry room is worse. He pees on the laundry machines. He pees on any clothes that are on the floor. He pees on the table in there. I'm like, how? You're a tiny little dog. He looks kind of like a poodle mixed with like a schnauzer or something, right?
I don't know, yeah.
But I'm like, how do you have that much pee in you? How is that much pee in you?
The little dogs, man.
I know.
Story of my life.
Yes. So the kids are like, and then one of our cats has gone missing. Bear, our cat is. We haven't seen our black cat out. We have 2 outdoor cats too. One of them hisses at me constantly, Stripes, and then unless I'm feeding him. And then Bear has just gone. We haven't seen Bear in a month.
Bear's the one that would come up to the door, right? On the side.
They both do, but yeah. But the black, they're brothers. There's a tabby named Stripes, originally named by our children, and then Bear, who was named after a previous black cat that we owned, who also went missing.
We know cats just go off, and when they're going to die, they go off. So
they either do that, or I don't think, cats don't get lost. I think he was just like, fuck this. I found a better house.
I think he probably went off to die. How old was he?
Not old, like 7, 5. I don't know. Or we have coyotes, so he also could be lunch. But because the golf course that we live on has coyotes on it. But they've lived this long without that. I mean, yeah, we've always had outdoor cats. But anyway, Claire's like, can we get another pet? And I'm like, no, we have 2 dogs, 2 cats, well, 1 now, and a fucking hedgehog.
Yeah, one day that hedgehog is going to die.
Well, the other one did already, like that we gave to the friend. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, what did that friend do to it?
Nothing. They're just old. They only live like 5 years.
So
Bear is living in the shadows in the sewer. Yeah. There's a major storm drain in a creek that feeds into a creek across the street. So
I will tell you, my grandma's farm, that I grew up on. When I wasn't living on her farm and we lived in town or at our country house, whenever our cats would have litters, when they were old enough, we'd take them to my grandma's barn, and they just lived in the barn and, ate the mice and whatever. They were barn cats.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a black cat. So she often just had litters of like gray, black, or black and white mix,
Mm-hmm.
right? So one of them one year, the runt, we called him Shrimpy, right? And he was Shrimpy, but he was scrappy. And he was the one that when the babies would get around the bowl, he would just be like
Mm-hmm.
hissing at his own brothers and sisters, right? Because he was greedy. Well, he grew up to be a scrappy little shrimpy cat, and he would go up. He was my grandmother's favorite, though, and he would have this really drawn out yowl, like you could hear it all the way down the creek, right? He'd start yowling from the creek, and like my grandmother, there was a road to the creek, and then a cattle guard, and then like a long road. So he would leave every winter and every spring. She'd be out in the garden, and she would hear him coming, and he'd be beat up. He'd have like an eye swollen, a piece out of his ear. My grandmother had the salve from the co-op, and she just slather him up and put him up, and she'd go, Shrimpy came back and he's all stove up. That'd be my grandma. Shrimpy's in the barn, he's all stove up. And she'd put him in the barn in one of the horse stalls that didn't have a horse and closed it. He could get out over the top, and he'd recuperate for like 3-4 days in there. and she'd nurse him back to health for the whole summer. He'd hang out with her, and he'd go to the garden, and then and every fucking fall, winter, Shrimpy'd leave again. And he did this for about 5 years.
He had
And
a
then
winter,
one time he just didn't come back.
a winter house and a spring house.
Mm-hmm. But Shrimpy would come back every time. He'd be
That
beat
sounds
to
like
shit.
the start of a scary movie.
Right? It's so country.
That
Angela
cemetery has a
knows
similar.
what I'm talking about.
That cemetery has a similar storyline. So
Listen, my grandma would just, you know, do anything for any of the animals that need. She had her own dogs too, but she once had a dog, Spike, who was all white. We got her one time. Well, Spike had gotten into the barbed wire and cut some cuts. So my grandmother just shaved him on those spots. And the co-op makes a spray. It's what you spray on the cattle when they have open wounds. It's purple.
It's like iodine and all of that. Yes.
Purple. So my grandmother they'd be like, oh, June's got a new dog. It'd be running around the pasture, this big old white dog with purple dots all over it. Everyone knew it was my grandma June's dog. It was hilarious. We're like, Grandma. She's like, well, it works.
That's funny.
Oh, funny.
Oh.
Anyway.
Alrighty. Well, we've hit time. So.
Already.
That was fun. So, alrighty. Well, thank you for being here.
It was good to be on. I'll make sure I'm on more regularly.
Make sure it's not another 6 weeks, please.
No, I got to be on more regularly because I'm probably not going to be here at the end of the year. So I gotta.
Tell me, where are you going? I don't know. I haven't heard yet. Where are you going?
You know, because you might come visit. I'm potentially. Well, I should be. I got to book my ticket, but I'm going to the UK at the end of the year. So. I'm going to go work remotely and then work in our office as well. So I'm kind of going for like 2 months, all of the holidays.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll make sure I'm on
the holiday.
Huh?
It's like the holiday.
Yeah, because I know I won't be on at this time because that'll be like 11:30 UK time.
Oh, that'll be living your best life. Friday night.
I might could do it.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know. I got to work out the details, but that's allegedly what I'm doing for the end of the year.
Awesome. So
yeah.
Alrighty, everyone. I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you were loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you so much. I need my daily dose of external processing. Take care of yourself. Don't shoot yourself to death. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you, Kerrie.
Thank you.
Bye.